Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And welcome to those who are here in our sanctuary as well as those who are worshiping from afar. We're going to start with a song, the Matovu, page 192.
Matovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. V'ani berov chastecha avo v'tzecha eshtachave elecha koshecha b'yiratecha. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. Adonai avti me'on beitecha u'mekom mishkan kevodecha. V'ani eshachave ve'echra evrecha lifnei Adonai osi. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. V'ani tefilati lecha Adonai et ratzon Elohim verov chastecha aneni bemet ishecha. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael.
On page 194, we come to the bracha that is said, actually traditionally after using the bathroom, but to acknowledge that, that all of our body, thank God, is working enough that we are here, that things that are meant to be closed are closed in our bodies, things that are meant to be open are open, and that we're here for another day. As we edge toward Tu B'Shvat, the tree celebration, the tree holiday, birthday of the trees, I thought that it would be nice to read the translation on page 195 at the bottom that has to do with a tree. A tree is a metaphor. Don't let me fall as a stone falls upon the hard ground. And don't let my hands become dry as the twigs of a tree when the wind beats down the last leaves. And when the storm raises dust from the earth with anger and howling, don't let me fall. I have asked for so much, but as a blade of your grass in the distant wild field, let's drop a seed in the lap of the earth and dies away. Sow in me your living breath as you sow a seed in the earth. Together we say, Baruch atah Adonai, rofeh kol basar umafli la'asot. And now, having acknowledged our bodies, we acknowledge now our souls. Elohai Neshama, page 196.
Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorahi. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorahi. Ata verata, ata yetzarta, ata nefachta bi, ve'ata meshamra birkirbi. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorahi. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorahi.
We're going to skip to page 215. This is the Ashrei, which is Psalm 145. Traditionally, it's best known for traditionally opening up on the Mincha service, the afternoon service every day, but it is also used at the beginning of our service on Shabbat morning and in the morning as well. And today we'll not sing it antiphonally. I think we'll just sing the very first opening paragraph, right?
Sounds good.
Yes, Cantor Dan introduced to us a new song. It was new to me anyway. I don't know how newly it was composed, but he introduced a song.
Which one was that?
I'm not sure, but it's just the first
yeah,
paragraph.
okay.
So
then it was probably this one.
okay, so let's join in as we all learn.
Ashrei yoshvei veitecha, od yehalelu chasela. Ashrei yoshvei veitecha, od yehalelu chasela. Part 2 goes like this. Ashrei, Ashrei, Ashrei yoshvei veitecha. Ashrei, Ashrei, Ashrei yoshvei veitecha. Ashrei yoshvei veitecha, od yehalelu chasela. Ashrei yoshvei veitecha, od yehalelu chasela. Happy are those who dwell in your house, they will sing your praises forever. Happy are those who dwell in your house, they will sing your praises forever. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Od Yehalelu Chasela, Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Od Yehalelu Chasela.
Nice. I think we're getting the hang of that one.
Uh-huh.
Very nice. Okay, let's skip to the last of the Psalms, Psalm 150 on page 218. And I like this melody that you introduced to us as well. It wasn't one that we had sung here before, but I think we all caught on to it. I don't remember the composer. So.
I think it was Chef of Gold, wasn't it?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. Let's see. Or, no, it's definitely not that one. I can't even find it. Let's do this one.
Okay. Do whatever comes to you.
I shall.
Compose something on the spot, Teacher Dan. No.
Oh, okay. Hallelu, 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 hallelujah. Hallelu, 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 hallelujah. Hallelu, el bekocho, hallelu, verkia uzo, hallelu, bigvurotav, hallelu, kerov kulo. Hallelu, 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 hallelujah. Hallelu, 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 hallelujah. Hallelu, beteka shofar, hallelu, benevel vechinor, hallelu, betofu machol, hallelu, beminim veukav. Hallelu, 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 hallelujah. Hallelu, 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 hallelujah. Hallelu, betziltzalei shema, hallelu, betziltzalei trua, kol anshama, tehalel ya, hallelu, hallelujah. Hallelu, 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 hallelujah. Hallelu, 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 hallelujah.
So as we prepare for the Barhu, the call to worship, we end one chapter of our morning blessings and we enter a different period. And when we do that in our service, we often have a Chatzi Kaddish. So many of you know the words of the Kaddish perhaps from the mourner's Kaddish. They are the same words, but this is a prayer that's actually used throughout the service traditionally to indicate the end of one chapter and the beginning of a new one. You might wonder, why would that be something in such a difficult language for us to get our mouths around, which is Aramaic? It doesn't sound or feel like Hebrew exactly. Some of the root words are the same, but it isn't. It is actually Aramaic. Well, the reason is that before Gutenberg, before we had the proliferation and ability to easily access a prayer book, people memorized and knew certain blessings. And then, often, people knew Aramaic. It was the vernacular that many people used. And so it became the thing, and that was one of the reasons it became what we say for the mourner's Kaddish as well, because people could speak it. Nowadays, it's a lot harder for us. But nonetheless, let's turn to page 224, and together, go through the Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדול ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
ועמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, וחייכונו ויומכונו וחיי לכל בית ישראל, בהגהלה ובזמן קריב וימרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו. לעילם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה וימרו, אמן.
Those who are able to do so, rise please for the Barchu.
Yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai. Yai dai 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 dai, yai dai yai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai yai dai dai dai. Yai dai 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 dai, yai dai yai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai yai dai dai dai. Barechu et Adonai hamevorach. Barechu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam va'ed. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam va'ed. Yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai.
Please take a seat. As we continue with the Yotzer Or, the Yotzer Or is, of course, the prayer that is about the light in the morning, that God is creator of the light. And in the evening, this is replaced by the Maharibaravim Prayer, which is about the evening. But let's say this in the English on page 228. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness, who makes peace and fashions all things. In mercy you illumine the world and those who live upon it. In your goodness you daily renew creation. How numerous are your works, Adonai. In wisdom you formed them all, filling the earth with your creatures. Be praised, Adonai, our God, for the excellent work of your hands, and for the lights you created. May they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we may all swiftly merit its radiance. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot. Page 230, we continue with Ahava Rabbah, with a great love you have loved us, Adonai.
Ahava Rabbah Havtanu, Adonai Eloheinu, Chemla gedola v'tzera, chamalta aleinu, ba'avur avoteinu, ve'imotzeinu, Shabbatchu v'cha, avotzeinu ve'imotzeinu, מצוות למדך כחיים, כן תכוננו למדנו, המרחם רחם עלינו, ותן בליבנו להבין ולהשכיל לשמוע, ללמוד וללמד, לשמור ולעשות, ולקיים את כל דברי תלמוד תורתך באהבה. והאר עינינו בתורתך, ודבק ליבנו במצוותיך, ויחל לבבינו לאהבה וביראה את שמך, ולא נבוש ולא ניכלם ולא ניכשל לעולם ועד, כי בשם קודשך הגדול והנורא בטחנו, נגילה ונשמחה, נגילה ונשמחה בישועתך.
והביאנו לשלום מארבע כנפות הארץ, ותוליכנו קוממיות לארצנו, כי אל פועל ישועת אתה, ובנו בחרת בקרב תנו לשמך הגדול סלע באמת, להודות לך ולייחדך באהבה. ברוך אתה אדוני, הבוחר בעמו ישראל באהבה. Those who are able to do so, please rise for Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please take a seat. Let's continue with the translation on page 234 of the Ve'ahavta. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai, your God. Adonai Elohechem Emet. So we say this in Hebrew or in English every time we say the Shema. But today it's very special to say, I am Adonai, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God, because today is the day on which we read Parshat B'Shalach, the portion of the Torah in which we actually go through the Sea of Reeds and sing the Song at the Sea, and we'll hear that in a little bit. But from that piece of the Torah, we get the very important, well-known piece of the liturgy, the Miramocha, on page 240, that comes straight from the Song at the Sea. So why don't we turn to page 240 and sing the Miramocha to a very jubilant, happy melody.
A very
Whatever,
jubilant,
yes.
happy melody.
Pick your pick.
Very well.
Something everyone can sing to.
A wake-up melody.
A wake-up melody, that's good.
Yai dai dai yai dai 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 yai dai dai yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora tehilot osef eleh Nora tehilot osef eleh Shira chadasha shir b'chul geulim L'shimcha sfat hayam Yachad kulam hodu v'himlichu v'yameru Adonai Le'olam va'ed Adonai imloch Le'olam va'ed.
Zor Yisrael, page 240 at the bottom of the Hebrew.
Zor Yisrael Kuma Vezrat Yisrael Ufdei Kidumecha Yehuda veYisrael Go Aleinu Adonai Tzevaot Shemo Kedosh Yisrael Baruch Atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael.
The prayer that we just said is speaking of Israel, the people, but it's asking God to rise in support of Israel. And in fact, it is a minhag in some congregations, it's a custom that at the word kuma, everybody stands up. You may wonder, why did everyone stand up there? It's not the tefillah, it's not the Amidah yet. It's because it's the word kuma, rise. But I wanted to talk about rising in support of the land of Israel and a beautiful celebration that I watched a couple of nights ago that happened about a month ago in Israel in honor of a very big anniversary of the Israeli Philharmonic Orchestra. I don't remember if it was 75, I want to say 75 or 80, I don't remember which number, but a very long time that they have been playing, since it was actually the Palestine Orchestra, because it was called Palestine before Eretz Yisrael was called Israel, and it was absolutely a fabulous, fabulous thing to see. So I'm recommending to everybody to feel this connection and this pride in the land of Israel and just the beauty of the music, which this Shabbat, we're thinking a lot about music. It's Shabbat Shirah, the Shabbat of song. On YouTube, you can watch this wonderful celebration of the Israeli Philharmonic Orchestra, and it has clips going all the way back to 1936. It has black and white clips of some of the orchestra playing. It's just incredible. So my recommendation on the Shabbat Shirah about Israel is to watch that. Okay, so we come now to the tefillah, and let's look at the top of page 243 as a kavanah. It says, pray as if everything depended on God. Act as if everything depended on you. And I think that's a wonderful kavanah. It's a wonderful intention as we go into our prayer, that we pray to God to help us, but we partner with God in what we do in the world. We rise for tefillah, page 242.
Anna na 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 Adonai. Anna na 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 Svatai Tiftach. Anna na 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 Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Anna na 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 Adonai. Anna na 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 Svatai Tiftach. Anna na 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 Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotzeinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Hozer U'Moshia U'Magin Baruch atah Adonai Magin Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei HaKol Atah Rab Lehoshia Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofeh Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayim Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Bagivurot Umido Melach Melech Memit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'emanata lehachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei hakol Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam Keshem shemakdishim oto bishmei marom Kakatuv al yad neviecha Vekara ze el ze ve'amar Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh Adonai Tzevaot Meloch ol haaretz Kevodo Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Mahadir, Shimcha bechol haaretz. Baruch Kevod Adonai, Mimkomo. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu Malkeinu, Hu Moshienu Vehu Yashmienu, Verachamav Le'enei Kol Chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai Le'olam, Elohai Yiksion, Ledor Vador. Hallelujah.
Ledor Vador.
Ledor Vador.
Ledor Vador.
Ledor Vador.
Ledor Vador. Nagid God Lecha. Ledor Vador.
Ledor Vador.
Ledor Vador.
Ledor Vador.
Ledor Vador. Nagid God Lecha. Ulenetzach netzachim, Kedushatecha nakdish, Kedushatecha nakdish. V'shivchecha Eloheinu, B'ipinu lo yamush, Le'olam, le'olam va'ed. Ledor Vador.
Ledor Vador.
Ledor Vador.
Ledor Vador.
Ledor Vador. Nagid God Lecha. Ledor Vador.
Ledor Vador.
Ledor Vador.
Ledor Vador.
Ledor Vador. Nagid God Lecha. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Let's take a few moments for some silent prayer and reflection.
Yihiyu v'ratzon imrefi v'egyol libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri v'gohali
Nice. So now we're ready for our Torah service, which begins on page 362. And do we have a couple of ark openers? Lynn and Betty will open the ark as we turn to page 362, and we rise as the ark is opened for our Torah service.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai ve'ein kemasecha Malachutecha malachut כל עולמים וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. אב הרחמים היטיבה ברצונך את ציון. תבנה חומות ירושלים, תבנה חומות ירושלים. כי לך לבד בטחנו, מלך ארם ונישא, אדון עולמים. כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, לעמו ישראל מקדושתו. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. אחד אלוהינו, גדול אדוננו, קדוש שמו. גדלו אדוני איתי, ונרוממה שמו יחדיו. לך אדוני הגדולה והגיבורה והתפארת והנצח וההוד. יכול בשמיים ובארץ, יכול בשמיים ובארץ. לך אדוני המלאכה, לעמי נעשה לכל לראש.
As I mentioned, we are in Parshat Beshalach at the Song of the Sea, and it is traditional when the Song of the Sea is read that we actually rise. So I usually say anyone who wishes to do so, but if you're able to do so, we rise for this aliyah. Ya'amdu kol ha'yila li'aliyah. Please stand up and be uprising in your heart. Everyone in this kehila li'aliyah. So let's say the bracha together. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach. Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah. Amen.
And go ahead.
I was going to say, if you're looking in the Plout, the maroon commentary, it's on page 488. 488 is the Song at the Sea.
So as last night, I will be chanting the first verse along with the special trope that comes with this section. But then we'll be going back to the beginning, Az Yashir, and we'll be singing the popular Spanish-Portuguese tune for it. Amen. Az Yashir Moshe u'bnei Yisrael et hashira hazot l'Adonai vayomru lemor Ashir al Adonai ki ga'oka sus verochvo ramavayam Az Yashir Moshe u'bnei Yisrael et hashira hazot l'Adonai vayomeru lemor Ashira l'Adonai Ki gahoga sus verochavo ramavayam ozi vezimratya vayehi lishua zeli ve'anvehu Elohei aviv arom mehu Adonai ish milchama Adonai shemo markevot pavochelo yaravayam Umicha shalishav tu be'ui be'yam suf tehomot yechasumu yardu yarduvim solot kemo aven yeminicha Adonai nedari Koach yeminicha Adonai tiraz oyev uverov kehonecha taharot kamecha teshalach aronecha yochel mokakash Uvruach apecha nermu mayim nitzevu chemoned nozilim kafu tehomot belev yam amar oyev edof asik Achalek shalal tiraed mo nafshi Ari charbi tori shemo yadi Ina hashavta v'ruchacha kisamo yam Tzalalu ka'oferet b'mayim adirim Michamocha ba'elim Adonai Michamocha nedar ba'kodesh Nora tehilot O Seifele, O Seifele.
Who is like you, Adonai, among all the celestials? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, and working wonders? And now let's say the closing bracha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, Noten HaTorah. Amen. And now a bracha for all of us. Misha Beirach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May the Holy One who blessed all our ancestors bless all of us who have come up today in honor of God, in honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, and in honor of song. May the Holy One grant us many more occasions to sing. May we live long lives filled with health, joy, love, peace, and happiness. And may we have prosperity in all of our labors, and may that be the case for all of our family and friends and for the entire house of Israel. And let us all say Amen. Please take a seat. And it is our minhag, our custom here at Temple Sinai, to put the Mishaberach list on the Torah, on the sacred Torah scroll. And this is the Mishaberach list, the list for healing, those we know of who are in need of healing at this time. If you have a name or names of people that you are thinking of, those who are watching remotely and worshiping from afar, please say those names aloud, all of us. Patricia Gable. So for all of those whom we have named and those good people around the world who are in need of healing, we sing this healing Mishaberach.
Mishaberach Avotenu, Mishaberach Imotenu, heal us and heal our world. Mishaberach Avotenu, Mishaberach Imotenu, heal us and heal our world. We pray for health and healing of body and spirit and mind, and for all who suffer, may their pain go away in good time. Mishaberach Avotenu, Mishaberach Imotenu, heal us and heal our world. Mishaberach Avotenu, Mishaberach Imotenu, heal us and heal our world.
In a moment, our Hagba, Eric Adams, will lift the Torah scroll in the air. I'm going to point, when he does, to the section that is the Song at the Sea, Shirat Hayam, so you can see that how it is written in the Torah scroll, which it has always been written in this fashion, is very different than other portions of the Torah. You can always find this portion of the Torah by how it is written. You'll see it looks like, I think it looks like the Israelites going through the Sea of Reeds. You could think of it as waves, as Cantor Dan had suggested last night, or as bricks. But in any case, you can see the way that the words are written are very distinct. So our Hagba Eric Adams will lift the Torah scroll, and those who are able to do so, please rise in honor of the Sefer Torah as we sing V'zot HaTorah.
V'zot HaTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai v'yad Moshe. V'zot HaTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai v'yad Moshe.
Please take a seat. It's traditional on Shabbat, as well as on holidays, that we read an additional reading, not from the Torah, but from Nevi'im, usually from prophets. And today's reading will be done, the Haftarah will be done by Bob Altabet, who will say the brachot and then read it in English, right? Unless you want to do it in Hebrew.
If you ask me in advance, I might have prepared for it.
Okay, no problem. That's wonderful. In English. And what page is that on?
It's on page 703, but I thought I would just take it from chapter 5, 705, where we actually do the song. Good. Okay, so it's an interesting piece for me to do, because if you don't know the meaning of the name Devorah in Hebrew, that's bee. And for those of you that know me, I'm a beekeeper. So there's a connection there. And the buzzing of the bees is also called Devarim. So there's another connection with, the words, with the Midrash says the Aseret Devarim is related to the sound of the bees. It's the buzzing. This is picked as the Haftarah because this is a song, and the Midrash tells us that there are 10 songs in Tanakh. If you try and count it, there are actually more than that, but it says 10, and it lists this one by Deborah as one of them. I'm going to say the blessings with Sephardi blessings, and you'll hear that at the end. If you listen for the Hebrew, I think this is particularly appropriate since we're talking about Deborah, but you'll notice that, dropping, the blessings and the way we address God is in the feminine for the Haftarah.
Oh, wonderful.
And that's a Sephardic tradition that comes from Isaac Luria, Ari HaKodesh, and so we've been doing it that way since. So if you think that women's movements are new, it's not.
Yeah. Page 372 in the Siddur, in the Blue Book, is where we have the blessings for before and after the Haftarah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'neviim tovim v'ratzah b'divreichem הנאמרים באמת. ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בתורה ומשה עבדו ובישראל עמו ובנביאי האמת והצדק. On that day, Deborah and Barak, son of Avinoam, sang, "When locks go untrimmed in Israel, when people dedicate themselves, bless the Lord, hear, O kings, give ear, O potentates. I will sing to the Lord, will hymn the Lord, the God of Israel. O Lord, when you came forth from Seir, advanced from the country of Edom, the earth trembled. The heavens dripped, yet the clouds dripped water. The mountains quaked before the Lord, him of Sinai, before the Lord God of Israel. In the days of Shamgar, son of Anat, in the days of Yael, caravans ceased, and wayfarers went by roundabout paths. Deliverance ceased in Israel, till you arose, O Deborah, arose, O mother in Israel. When they chose new gods, was there a fighter then in the gates? No shield or spear was seen among 40,000 in Israel. My heart is with Israel's leaders, with the dedicated of the people. Bless the Lord. You riders on tawny she-asses, you who sit on saddle rugs, and you wayfarers declare it. Louder than the sound of archers there among the watering places. Let them chant the gracious acts of the Lord, his gracious deliverance of Israel. Then did the people of the Lord march down to the gates. Awake, awake, O Deborah, awake, awake, strike up the chant. Arise, O Barak, take your captives, O son of Abinoam. There was the remnant made victor over the mighty. The Lord's people won my victory over the warriors. From Ephraim came they, whose roots are in Amalek. After you, your kin Benjamin. From Machir came down leaders. From Zebulun, such as hold the marshal's staff. And Issachar's chiefs were with Deborah. So Barak, so was Issachar, rushing after him into the valley. Among the clans of Reuben were great discussions of heart. Why then did you stay among the sheepfolds and listen as they piped for the flocks? Among the clans of Reuben were great searchings of heart. Gilead tarried beyond the judges, and Dan, why did he linger by the ships? Asher remained at the seacoast and tarried at his landings. Zebulun is a people that mocked at death, Naphtali on the open heights. Then the kings came, they fought. The kings of Canaan fought at Tanaach by Megiddo's waters. They got no spoil of silver. The stars fought from heaven, from their courses they fought against Sisera. The torrent Kishon swept them away. The raging torrent, the torrent Kishon, march on, my soul, with courage. Then the horses' hoofs pounded as headlong galloped the steeds. Curse Meroz, said the angel of the Lord, bitterly curse its inhabitants, because they came not to the end of the Lord, to the aid of the Lord among the warriors. Most blessed of women be Yael, wife of Heber the Kenite, most blessed of women in tents. He asked for water, she offered milk. In a princely bowl, she brought him curds. Her left hand reached for the tent pin, her right for the workman's hammer. She struck Sisera, struck his head, smashed and pierced his temple. At her feet he sank, lay outstretched. At her feet he sank, lay still. Where he sank, there he lay, destroyed. Through the window peered Sisera's mother. Behind the lattice she whined. Why is his chariot so long in coming? Why so late the clatter of his wheels? The wisest of her ladies gave answer. She too replies to herself. They must be dividing the spoil they have found. A damsel or two for each man. Spoil of dyed cloths for Sisera. Spoil of embroidered cloths. A couple of embroidered cloths round every neck as spoil. So may all your enemies perish, O Lord, but may his friends be as the sun rising in might. And the land was tranquil for 40 years. Go'aleinu Adonai Tzvaot Shemo Kedosh Yisrael Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Tzur Kol HaOlamim Tzadik B'Kol HaDorot Ha'el HaNe'eman Homer B'Yoseh Meraber Umkayehim Ki Kol Devarav Emet V'Tzedek Ne'eman Atahu Adonai Eloheinu V'Ne'emanim Devarecha ודבר אחד מדבריך אחור לא ישוב ריקם כי אל מלך נאמן ורחמן אתה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הנאמן בכל דבריו רחם על ציון כי בית חיינו ולעלובת נפש תושיע במהרה בימינו ברוך אתה אדוני משמח ציון בבניך שמחנו אדוני אלוהינו באליהו הנביא עבדך ומלכות בית דוד משיחך במהרה יבוא ויגל ליבנו אל כיסו לא ישב זר ולא ינחלו עוד אחרים את כבודו כי בשם קודשך נשבעת לו שלא נקפא נרו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני מגן דוד על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ועל יום השבת הזה שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו לקדושה ולמנוחה לכבוד ולתפארת על הכל, אדוני אלוהינו, אנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך, יתברך שמך, בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת.
Amen. Yeshar Koach, that was wonderful. I always learn something new from Bob Altabet. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I just want to mention, last night, Cantor Dan spoke very eloquently about compassion for our enemies, having compassion for people who are against our interests, including, of course, in this parsha, we talk about Pharaoh, and we try to have compassion on him. But in this particular Haftarah we just read, there's a beautiful, very poignant piece of it. I don't know if you caught it, talking about Sisera, who was the enemy who was killed by Yael, the warrior, the woman warrior, who, in her insight and cunning, she brought him into her tent, and she actually got him to drink milk. He fell asleep, and then she struck him through the temple. But we have this wonderful little vignette that we see into this idea of Sisera's mother waiting for him to come home, our enemy warrior who's coming back from the battle. And she's saying, why is he so late in coming? We see this little window that we think about the mother of our enemy. And I think that's really poignant. It's just a beautiful piece. And as Bob pointed out, there's a lot about women and women's strength and compassion in this piece. So I'd like to invite Cantor Dan to sing a beautiful song about Deborah's song.
Arise, arise. Let me turn on my microphone. That'll work. Arise, arise, Deborah, arise, arise, and sing a song. Arise, arise, Deborah, uri, uri, dabari shir. Deborah the prophet was a judge in Israel. She sat beneath her palm tree on a hill, and people came from everywhere just to hear her judgments, honest and fair. For the prophet Deborah, mother in Israel. Arise, arise, Deborah, arise, arise, and sing a song. Arise, arise, Deborah, uri, uri, dabari shir. Arise, arise, Deborah, arise, arise, and sing a song. Arise, arise, Deborah, uri, uri, dabari shir. Uri, uri, dabari shir.
Nice. We don't have a song for every Haftarah, but that's a really nice one to have one for, since it is a song. It's Deborah's song.
And
Okay.
it's Debbie Friedman's.
Oh, and it's Debbie Friedman's song.
I believe it's officially for
For
your
your
site
site?
this week.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, we observed it a
We
couple
ob-
weeks ago,
yeah.
but I think it's between the Hebrew and the secular dates.
It's between the two.
Yes, so we're in that time period where we think of Debbie Friedman. Okay, so let's take the Torah and bring it back to the Ark. We are on page 374. We rise as the Ark is opened and returned to the Torah, to the Ark.
I'm going to,
Yeah, that's true. Okay, and then we'll go straight into the Elenu when the Ark is opened.
Yehalelu et Shem Adonai, ki niskov shemo levado. Eitz chayim hi, lemachazikim ba, v'tomheha meushar. דרכיה דרכי נועם, וכל נתיבותיה שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה. חדש חדש ימינו, חדש ימינו כקדם. Page 586. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בקווי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
Please take a seat. Aleinu is about how it is our obligation to bring Jewish values into the world, litaken olam b'malchut Shaddai, to create tikkun olam, to repair the world. And that's very apt on this weekend when we remember the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his legacy of civil rights, and how we should speak up for one another, for the minority, for those who are bullied or downtrodden, that we need to stand up in their honor. So with that in mind, tomorrow there is an interfaith virtual gathering of clergy that I am a part of as a service in honor of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And we sent out emails about this, and there's a link in the email to attend that virtually tomorrow at 3. That's Sunday at 3 p.m. Also tomorrow, there is a Sundays at Sinai program, which is a comparison between Chinese and Japanese culture, and that is also virtual at 3 p.m. Both of them are at the same time. If you wish to attend the 3 p.m. Sundays at Sinai, first of all, please get in touch with the office. It's 561-276-6161, extension 204, and leave a message that you would like, 204 is the extension, leave a message that you would like that link, and then you can attend the virtual Murakami cultural offering. And if you wish to see the other one, it will be recorded and you can see it later. So if you feel at all torn between the two, attend the Sundays at Sinai. You can see the Martin Luther King interfaith worship later. Okay, and after our service at 12:30 today, as we do every Shabbat afternoon, we will have Torah Study, which is virtual only. Don't come here to the synagogue. We won't be here. We're here now, some of us, but please attend virtually by Zoom our Torah Study at 12:30. Is that it? I think, do we have any other? Here's Lynn, our co-president with a couple more announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. I think on Shabbat morning, now that we're gathering, we'd like to give some thank yous to our members who sponsored our Shabbat worship this Shabbat weekend. And they include Joyce Ross in memory of Miriam Miller, Ruth Seidel and Sam Weinman in memory of Ruth's beloved father, Edward Lokiech, Marcia Weber in memory of Chaim Kirschenbaum, Danielle and Tom Gabor in memory of Joseph Reiter, and Jim Hurt in honor of the beautiful voices of our rabbi and cantor. Thank you, Jim. We also are grateful to members who've made donations to the local area food banks, including Marcia Weber in memory of Chaim Kirschenbaum, Marcia Weber in honor of her birthday, and Harriet Meyer and Marilyn Heller in memory of their beloved friend, Laura Green. Shabbat Torah Study, as Rabbi said, will begin at 12:30, and our member, Sue Wexler, has been studying once again and will be leading us in discussions. And we're grateful to the following people for supporting Torah Study: Elaine and Arnold Drapkin in memory of Rose Cutler, Danielle and Tom Gabor in memory of Joseph Reiter, Rebecca Lipman in memory of her beloved husband, Erwin Lipman, Jim Hurd in memory of his wife Arlette's mother, Rosalie Zinn, and Dr. Dan Dworkin in honor of our Torah Study program. Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Cantor Dan. We're grateful to all of you who have joined us today, and thank you so much to Bob Altabet. As he said, had he had advance notice, he may have done the entire Haftarah in his chanting of the Haftarah, but we are so grateful. When I realized it was this particular Haftarah and I saw him walk in the door, I know there was no one else. So, Kol HaKavod, Bob. And for everybody, a good week, and please check your brotherhood information. Extremely important that you check your brotherhood information. And you can also call and leave a message, 561-276-6161, extension 133. Thank you all. A good week. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom. Thank you. Okay. So our thoughts now turn to those who are no longer with us. And this week we recall the art sites, the anniversary of the passing of the following people whose names are illuminated on the plaques surrounding the sanctuary: Bernard Burstein, Ben Cutler, Bertha Cutler, Dorothea B. Escribano, Morris Furstenberg, Leon Gaber, John J. Gersman, Dora Heitner, Max Herman, Harry Herzog, Israel F. Creamer, Roslyn Ment Lesser, Jack L. Levine, Adele S. Lieberman, Erwin Lipman, Carmelo Mascherone, Pearl Musicant, Dora W. Porter, Leon Schwartz, Isidore Siegman, Harold Seletsky, Bernard A. Zarkin, Erna Zarkin, Hannah Duran Zilov, and Mark H. Zwagenhaft. Others recalled at this time: Rose Cutler, Sidney Gable, A. David Goldberg, Bernard Jenkins, Chaim Kirschenbaum, Edward Lokiech, Arthur Mattia, Miriam Miller, Joseph Reiter, Grace Sigmund, and Ignacy Weiser. Those whose deaths are more recent in the Shloshim period: Lori Singer, Alan Kaplan, Milton Sterren, Lee Abraham, and Teddy Wasserman. If you are recalling someone whom I've not named, if you could raise your hand. Yes, Barn. Oh, I'm sorry. And those at home, if you have a name to add, please say that as well. As we rise in solidarity with mourners everywhere and in memory of those who were murdered in the Shoah, as on page 598, we recite the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divarach hirute v'yamlich malchute. B'chayechon uvyomechon. U'v'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lalmei maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal. Shemei d'kudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Da'amiran ba'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shalom araba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mramav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all who mourn among us. And let us all say, Amen. Please take a seat for our concluding song.
We were talking about the Aleinu and how it's upon us, and sometimes the only thing we can control is us. Peace, peace will come, and let it begin with me. Peace, peace will come, and let it begin with me. Oh, my own life is all I can hope to control. Oh, let my life be lived for the good of my soul. Let it bring peace, sweet peace. Peace will come, and let it begin with me. We need peace. We need peace, and let it begin with me. We need peace, and let it begin with me. Oh, my own life is all I can hope to control. Oh, let my life be lived for the good of my soul. Let it bring peace, sweet peace. Peace will come, and let it begin with me.
Nice. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.